Hi everyone. Welcome to I Am Recruiter podcast. And today we have a very special guest, Divya Taneja. So Divya and I both worked with Join Group in our initial days. So हम दोनों जब फ्रेशर थे तब पहला कंपनी जॉइन पे हमने जॉइन किया दोनों साथ में ही काम सीखे एंड नाउ दिव्या हैव ग्रोन टू a certain level. So I thought that it will be really nice to hear from her कि उनका जर्नी कैसा रहा, what are the different challenges, different opportunities, different learnings किस टाइप का उनको मिला है. So definitely it will be very very helpful to all our audience. So welcome Divya and thank you so much तुम्हारे टाइम के लिए. And why don't you quickly introduce yourself?
Sure. So first of all, thank you, Praful, for having me here. It's a pleasure for me to join here to share a stage with you. So my name is Divya Taneja. I worked with you, although I started my journey with Zyoin back in Jan 2014. Uh, kind of a fresher who has some kind of industry experience as an internship. Uh, Along with that, grown my way from a fresher to a senior TA to a manager to account manager. Right now I'm VP in Zoin, majorly dealing with all product startup captive GCC sort of companies, helping them in hiring the right talent, advising them whenever it's required, helping them in solving the recruitment challenges so that both the companies, even the customer or the client of Zoin, and along with me, can grow together and help them in hiring their, helping them in closing their critical positions.
Great, great, great. So Divya, why don't you quickly also tell little bit about background कि आप कहाँ से हो, रिक्रूटमेंट पे कैसे आके स्टार्ट किया आपने, आपका एजुकेशन बैकग्राउंड क्या था?
Sure. So I'm basically born and brought up in Gwalior, Madhya Pradesh. From my schooling till my post graduation, I've done my BTech in IT and then MBA in major specialization in HR and operation. I always wanted to pursue for post graduation, but at the same time, when I completed my BTech, I was in a dilemma whether I'll go for a job or whether I will go for a further studies. But I was very clear that I have to do further studies. So I discussed with my parents because that's a crucial stage in anyone's life to deciding factor. And my father has really helped me over there. Like, if in case you want to complete your education, do it in one shot, and you have your whole life to do job or whatever you want to explore further. So I've taken admission in Triple IT Gwalior, completed my MBA in HR and Ops, and although that year it was only one company that came for campus hiring specifically for HR, and although the initial selection but happened for me and for there are two more people for operation and marketing, but the company has not concluded anyone. Then I worked, anyways, I was doing internship in a company in my last semester. So I've continued for 5 6 months over there, and then I left my job and came to Bangalore to search something, and then finally I joined Join. I've grown up along with the company since last decade, I'll say.
Okay, okay. So like when you did your MBA in HR, like were you sure that you wanted to go for recruiting itself, or you were not having any clue at the time? It was just on the flow.
So I like talking to people. Also, I'm an introvert as well as I'm extrovert as well. So once I have a initial, I'll break the ice. Then it's easy for me to have a communication with anyone. But at the same time, if someone suddenly out of nowhere comes and speak to me, in the initial I'll say or pause myself a bit and before getting mingled to that person. So both the things were there. I wanted to pursue in HR, that's for sure. And when I've done my internship, I was very clear, yes, recruitment is something that I love doing. I love talking to people. It's not only about talking, it's you're making impact in someone's life, making impact for a company, for hiring the right candidates. So yes, I've pursued further. And
Okay.
when
Okay.
I came to Bangalore, I searched for recruitment field. I didn't went in any other field. That's what my main focus was.
Okay. Even I feel the same, right? Sometimes I feel that I'm an introvert, and sometimes I feel that I'm an extrovert, right? Again, like I don't feel very comfortable with everyone and anyone, but if given space, I will find my own sweet time, and I will try to come up. And even I love talking to people, right? I want to help people as well, and that's the reason. Like, we both are in recruitment. Great. So in Join, I believe it's almost like 10 plus years now, right? So how was your journey? Yeah, I have seen that you have grown so fast in your career compared to other folks, right? So definitely amazing job, and congratulations to you, Divya. So ये आपका जो journey है, like how was your journey? What kind of learnings you have? What kind of challenges you have?
So I'll say in recruitment, every day is a new day. But at the same time, I am witnessing the first hand evolution along with Zoin inside for me as well. Because when I joined Zoin, it was somewhere around 50-60 member team, and right now we are just triple or four size of that. And yes, I mean there are a lot of challenges, failure that I faced. But if you are passionate for recruitment, or if you're passionate for whatever you are doing, it's easy for you to grow because you have very clear mindset that you don't have plan B as such. And if you have plan B but your goal remains the same, so that's okay. If in case one way you are failing, plan A is failing, but plan B is helping you to reach out to the same goal, then try it, but not plan B to have something different goal. So yes.
Agree. Agree. Great. So, moving to our next question, Divya. So, since you have huge amount of experience, so can you also share some of your positive plus some of your learning opportunities which you have in your past careers in perspective of hiring managers and candidates? Because these are some of our main stakeholders and from whom we have to deal every day, I would say. And कभी ना कभी कुछ ना कुछ इंसिडेंट ऐसे हुआ ही होगा जहां से आपने काफी कुछ सीखा है प्लस आपको कुछ सेटबैक भी मिला होगा.
True, true. So, when I started initially, because everyone is new in the career and growing, wants to learn and understand directly from hiring managers. Initially, sometimes you will not get the chance because hiring manager does not have that trust, or you have your manager or your leader speaking to them. But when I started being in their calls and directly listening to from the hiring manager, you will actually get to know what they really want to hire, what's their expectation. Sometimes they have realistic expectations, sometimes they don't have. So you really have to make that rapport with them, and that will happen not in the first shot, that's for sure. So you have to really go with the data, what is available in the market, what is not available in the market, uh, is their expectations are aligned to the mark, what is available in the market, the candidate skills that they are looking out for, are they available in the market. So I faced couple of scenarios. So one of the example is when I was directly working with one of the startup, they were looking for IIT graduate with some 5 to 8 years experience range. They have actually, which has helped me in hiring the best talent for them. I I actually asked them or requested them to give me a 30 minutes or an hour's time to understand the what will be the difference the candidate will make when he or she join your organization, and how it will help you in building the product or the service that you want to, how that person will help. So ultimately, in knowing why they are hiring is basically the best thing, I'll say, if the recruiter understand that. Because once they know why the hiring manager, why the company wants to hire this kind of person, and what impact the candidate or the prospective employee will make, that will be a really easy for recruiter to find the right set of candidate. But at the same time, all hiring managers does not give the time initially.
Yes.
So it happens. So I normally have a thought that if they give initial time, they will save their lot of time in interviewing the wrong set of candidates, because on resume, uh, candidates look good, right?
Yep.
Whatever the understanding recruiter gets from JD, they align the candidate. But what you are looking out for, if you're not investing time in hiring, that will waste your 5 to 6 hours at least in interviewing at least 5 to 6 candidates. So better to give some time and help in setting up the right expectations. At the same time, if the expectations is not aligned, say we are looking for a Flutter developer, uh, which say it has been introduced in the market for some 6 months or a year's gap, but hiring manager is looking for someone who has 2 3 years experience. First thing, not possible. Second, you have to align which are the companies working on Flutter, uh, what kind of candidates are available, if they are fitting into your hiring expectations, in terms of experience, in terms of budget, in terms of region as well. If not, then what are the alternate options? So in that case, we can hire someone with right persona and attitude, because if someone have a less experience or does not have the experience, if the hiring manager is open, it's helpful for them if the candidate had right persona, because that person once into the system will grab everything if he or
Yep.
she is coming with right attitude and mindset.
Totally
So
agree.
that has actually helped in hiring. But yes, if you have to build the repo with the hiring manager, you have to go with data points, you have to do a lot of market study, you have to be a researcher. I'll always say to recruiters or my team members as well. I've been into the shoes, still been there as well, but when you are working on the grounds, you know the situations much better.
Sure, sure. Great answer, I would say. So I have a related question. Definitely when you are doing any kind of research, right? So what are the different tools and platforms you would go to do this kind of research about a particular role? Because the reason why I'm asking, we have many recruiters, right? So they try to connect with the hiring managers, and they go without doing any basic research, right? So since you are one of the person who does that, so I just wanted to understand ki kahan se karte ho, kya karte ho, what are the different things we should have in that research, so that we can build a trust with the hiring manager. And second question ये है कि when you are talking to a hiring manager, is it necessary to ask question? And क्योंकि बहुत सारे recruiters क्या करते हैं, recruiters या sources, they just are kind of a listener. They doesn't get the courage to ask question कि ये role क्यों है, क्या impact करेगा, like which you have mentioned earlier, right?
True. So first of all, we have to do the research. As I mentioned, we have to be have a research mindset. We have to go the We are in a generation right now where internet is available everywhere, right? And you will have, if in case if you're not aware of the websites as well, if it is just Google, first try to if you have never worked on the role, try to understand about the role. What, say simple, I'll take a very simple example of backend. Say someone coming from a non-IT background, and say as a recruiter, say I'm from a non-IT background and I have to work for a backend developer role. What a backend guy does in a company, I have to research first, read about it, so that I have the basic clues, right? And at the same time, when if I have the JD, I'll highlight what I understand. I'll highlight which the question that I have first. And when you're going and meeting to the hiring manager, listen to them first, what's their expectations. If you are able to understand, well and good. If you are not able to understand, ask politely, it's okay. They are not someone who will get angry while you're asking such question, because the more they will clear your doubt, it would be more helpful for them to hire, to get the right set of candidate in shorter time.
Agree.
At the same time, being in consulting firm, sometimes I'm not able to understand any company product in one shot, right? Or what companies does. So I normally research go to YouTube, go to Crunchbase and all, and read and listen the videos and their company website, so that I have the basic understanding. And when they speak about what they are developing, you will be able to relate. But going
Right.
without research is not gonna help you. Ultimately, you will listen something which will be out of your mind in next 5 minutes.
Totally agree. Great answer. Definitely, researching about the company, about the product is very important. So you have already heard from Divya what are the things, how she have been successful, how she used to make a relationship with her hiring manager. So definitely you have to research, you have to ask questions. Even hiring managers are same human like you and me. So no one will feel bad if you're asking any question. Great. So moving to our next question, Divya. So any tips for our fellow recruiters or aspiring recruiters how to be successful?
A lot, because my whole journey in a consulting firm has helped me to get a lot of insights. And every day is a new day. Sometimes you fail, sometimes you grow. So first and foremost, is being a strong researcher. As I mentioned, you have to research about the company, about the services the company provide, about the product. Go through the JD, break down it to understand what will be the perspective employee which the company is looking out for, is hiring, right? What's their expectations from the prospective candidate or prospective employee? So you should have the JD in, I mean, recorded in your mind in terms of expectations, so that when you are dealing or connecting with candidates, you will be able to explain them in detail. Spend time in figuring out about the company, spend time in breaking down the JD, spend time dealing with candidates, because the more you clear, uh, you will give the or share the information with candidates, it will help you in setting up the right expectations that company is hiring, in terms of role, in terms of skills, in terms of expectation about the role, in terms of interview process, how the whole process will go. And obviously that will make a strong reputation with the candidates when you give all the information available with you to them. So you have to really spend and connect with candidates. That is very much required. So in terms of work, yes. And then when you are working in a consulting firm, you should be, not, I'll say only consulting firm, but in any job or any work, I always have followed that thing which has helped me in growing, is being accountable, take ownership, and the third foremost is time management. Accountable, so that if any of your leader, or your manager or your boss, if has assigned something to you, if in case you have query, ask at the same time. Don't wait till the end of the day when they are asking, have you completed this work, and then you will be like, no, I have some query. So when they are sharing something with you as a work and you are not clear, ask then and there. And once it's done, being an accountable person, I go from my end only to them that I've completed this thing, right? When you take ownership of something, right, you feel like this is belongs to you, and it's your responsibility to fulfill this role or this position. If you have that mindset, yes, you will be able to grow in your career. Time management, because you get a lot of calls from candidates, you have to connect with hiring manager, you have to present data, you have to research. So time management at the same time is very important factor, uh, to be there, because you otherwise you will messed up. If you're not having your to-do list for the day, you'll be like, I'm not able to complete my work, and I'm spending some 12, 14 hours sitting on the laptop. It's okay if you're learning something other than your work and spending time on the system, but at the same time, if you're completing your work, that is the main, I'll say, idea behind time management. So we have to learn, and I'll say sometimes I'm still face challenges on that. So it's a learning process. It's not that you will get in a day's time, because the way your role change or you grow in the organization, the different set of responsibilities come. So you have to invest time as well. So you have to do time management so that it will be easy. Otherwise, it's very easy you will get frustrated in a day or two that it's not my cup of tea.
Totally agree. So, Divya, since you have mentioned about like the time management, right? So I would
Mhm.
also want to ask and tell our audience like how do you manage your time? Uh,
Okay.
Currently, are you located in India? And is your team in India? And how do you manage your time? And it will be really motivating for our audience to know
Okay.
about how you do that.
Okay. So it's easy. At least I feel personally, it's easy to work from office rather than working in a remote, because you have surrounding environment with people, with your teammates, with your colleagues. You can do chit chat. So I've been there for 7 years in Bangalore office of Zyoin where I've worked. And since last 3 years, I'm working remotely. I'm in Netherlands. My husband is on site for some time, so I'm exploring different cities all at the same time. I don't want to quit Zoin, or I'll say I have to be associated with Zoin because I'm getting the opportunity to grow uh, at the same time. So managing time sometimes get tricky, but I know, and that's what I call, if you have the passion, if you are committed to something, you will adjust. So initial teething issues are always there when the time duration change and all, but if in case you are committed to something, you'll find yourself in, or you will get adjusted easily.
Totally
So I'm
agree.
right now based out of Netherlands. So I'm exploring nearby countries, and yes, I'm working. I'm starting my day a little early, approx 5:30 a.m. in the morning, so that I'll get adjusted to India time, because that's how my team and my clients work.
Yes. Thanks, Divya. So you have heard it correct, right? If you're passionate enough, if you love something, you will find ways to do things, right? For Divya, she is in a different time zone altogether. But even though she is in a different time zone, she is prioritizing her thing for what she loves to do, right? And this show how passionate she is for recruitment or for her work. Great. Thank you, Divya. So, moving to our next question, any tips or suggestion for our candidates how they can be successful in the interview process?
Okay, so before coming to interview process, any recruiter goes through the resume of the candidate. So
Yes.
in resume, you should have a proper formatting of the resume. Highlight your unique skills and experience. Personalize your resume to each job, because I have seen a lot of candidates applying to job with just one resume, and sometimes it's easily get rejected, because that is what you are putting in front of any recruiter. So if you can highlight your contributions, your achievements, basically the quality work which will reflect that, either in terms of cost, either in terms of time, you are saving companies, I mean, either in terms of, when I say quality work, in terms of cost saving or time saving, anything which you are highlighting in the resume that will say that you have done something different than the others.
Yes.
So that will really helpful initially for the recruiters to shortlist the profile, or to at least speak to the candidate if they highlight. And moreover, if the skills which are in recent trend, if you have worked on that, that will be an added advantage, because candidates or companies are looking for that, and if it is in your resume, they will really love to have an initial conversation with you. Sorry.
No worries.
Moreover, when, as you mentioned, coming to the interview process, so you should be very clear for which company you are applying. You know about the company, so you, as company is investing time, or recruiter investing time in you, you should also invest the time for the company you are applying for. So go through about the company, if in case you want to know about their funding, about the founders, about the product or the services they are providing, even if in case their PNL, if you get from somewhere, and if in case you have any questions, obviously you can ask in the interview. So the basic details, and recruiter will for sure you can ask, is not you cannot ask recruiter that what will be the interview process in terms of round, say any round is related to giving example for backend, as I mentioned previously. So first round, say suppose related to data structure and algorithm, then second will be more into your designing skills. So you can ask the candidate how the process is like, so that you can prepare well for the interview, and that will help you in really cracking it, because if you are already prepared for that. Last few, but not, I'll say, the only thing is, if you follow up with a thank you note after the interview, uh, to express your interest and gratitude. If in case you are rejected as well, sometimes it's happened that recruiter miss, but a follow up with a thank you note, uh, with after interview, that will help in, getting the feedback little might be faster or something, because sometimes candidate recruiters are worried how I'll say the rejection, because this candidate looks little tough on me. So it's good you can share a thank you note, because someone also has invested time in you. It's just that the expectations from both the ends are not matching. uh, so that's okay. Everyone is not fit for every company, or every company is not fit for as per the expectation of every candidate.
Totally agree.
So
Totally.
continuously improve your skills and knowledge through learning and development, that will help you in growing in your career, and at the same time helping you in cracking the interviews as well.
Great, great. I just wanted to add one point here. I am a true believer of being grateful for whatever we have in terms of opportunity wise, in terms of anything, right? We should be always grateful. There are thousands of candidates available in the market. At least you were getting the chance to being interviewed, you are getting the call from the interviewers. So if you are grateful, I would say you will be getting more and more opportunity, and it's a good practice as well, right? So great thoughts and tips, Divya. Great. So moving to our next question. So, what's your thought on AI? Because these days everyone is talking about AI, AI in terms of tools, AI in terms of any platform, AI in terms of any job portals, or uh, everyone is talking about ChatGPT, Gemini, whatnot. So, what's your thought in terms of AI in recruitment?
Okay, so first of all, I'll clear the doubt or the expectation or the fear that have in mind that any automation happen in the world, it's contribute to the success, not contribute to the layoff, because automation help in efficient working, I'll say. There could be initial dips, but in due course of time you see it help in continuous improvement in number of jobs. I'll take an example. I have heard it from one of my leader. When computer came, right, in the especially into the banking domain, people think that this will take my job, right? And I'll be jobless, there will be no jobs, because computer is so efficient, so fast, that right now in the current world, in the current world, there are millions or billions of transactions happen through computer, through online medium, through internet, and less through cash. And that has more banks has came in the market, in the world. There are more facilities which you can do few of the things in just seconds, through the internet, through the computer. And that has actually helped in growing more number of jobs, instead of uh, contributing as a negative to the society or negative to the world. So any automation or AI happen, that will help in improving efficiency day to day work. Language limitations, I'll say taking example of my, just taking example, that if I'm a great recruiter, but I have language limitations in terms of I'm not very strong in grammatical things, but and this chat GPT and all has actually helped in writing the better mails. And obviously you have to give a personal touch, so you have to include, but at the same time that has helped me to reach a more bigger or better prospect of candidates, and that will help me to reach out a better or more candidates in the market as well. So these AI tools has actually helped in making decision based on the data quick, faster, enhance day-to-day efficiency, automate tasks, so that I'll be more connected or to hiring managers, to candidates, in terms of setting out the right expectation instead of just being in the middle of different sheets and then updating the data. So it will actually help in increasing scalability. Yes, few of the tasks which have lack of human, but at the same time we don't need that data driven approach or data driven decision making. If we have the data at one place and sitting and updating it, instead of with the help of AI, I'll just get the results, and it's easy for me to have a discussion in the internal team. That would be more helpful.
Totally agree.
So I'll be more in favor, and as I've mentioned, the example that has actually helped in growing overall the industry about the world as well. Initial dip, anyways, will be there to streamline the things. So yeah.
Yes, I would say great example, Divya, because whenever there is a new technology coming into picture, everyone gets scared, right? First of all, right? So once people start using, they become comfortable. It takes them some time, right? Once they are comfortable, then they take advantage of that technology, and which help them grow further, I would say, right? So great answer. Thank you for sharing that. So moving to our next question. uh, but before that, I want our audience to know a little bit more about Divya. So, what Divya loves to do when she is not recruiting, or what she generally does on weekend. So, if you can quickly share about you to our audience.
Okay, so what I majorly loved other than work is, or I'll say is the craziest thing that I'm doing is doing going on rides at theme park. It's like being on a big, fast, scary swing. It's all really fun because you have to scream and laugh with your friends while you're flying around. Waiting in line can be boring, but at theme parks, for me, it feels exciting because you are going to have a great time soon. So when I was just 10 years old and took my first ride in a roller coaster at Six Flags in US, although my mother was not allowing me because I was just 10, and it was a very long 4 miles roller coaster, but I insisted her and I really enjoyed. And since then, I mean, you asked me to go on any ride and I'll be always ready, from Disney land Paris to the fastest roller coaster in Abu Dhabi. Each one of them is like a new adventure for me, and I you can ask me anytime to go. I'll be like, yes, I'm interested, let's go. So this is something that I really enjoy. Other than that, I love riding, especially bikes. So ask him, let me ride, and you sit on the back. So he's open for that, and I really enjoy that as well. So